Hello and welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo Switch port. I am continuing straight off from where we left off last time, as we're going into the Forest Temple now. So let's go ahead and get into it. The Forest Temple, which the front entrance is actually blocked off by wolfos. Come on. Now, these ones normally die within one swing, but I like doing the jump attack because it makes me feel good on them. But now, there are these vines here, and I'm going to climb up to see what else up here, because there is a hidden reward in this room if you have not played this game before. And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to come over here, on top of this tree, and you're going to get this Skulltula because it's shot range. And you're just going to carefully go across this tree limb, jump across, and come over to this chest. And now we have a small key that we can use for this dungeon, which will be nice. And now the fun part, because now we don't have to worry about waiting until they turn their backs on us, we can defeat the Skulltulas with just a simple shot and quick shot. And there are 4 braziers here, each of a different color flame. Now, who the heck are you guys? Why did you take my flames? These are specialized Poes. These 4 are actually called the Poe Sisters. In order to get the flames back, we have to defeat the Poe Sisters. But before we go into any directions they went off to, we're actually going to go over here, and we're going to go into this room real fast. There we go. He was annoying, he hit me. And now we get to fight some Zeldas in here. Okay, and now, as Stalfos work, they only attack one at a time. They don't attack in, whenever. Okay, so we're logging out for that one, because I don't remember exactly what the pattern is for these ones. If these ones, once they are defeated, they are just defeated. Oh no, these ones are just like that. I always do that technique just in case, because I'll never remember which ones are which. When I go to try to find the special item within the dungeon, they may end up doing it that way, to where they might respawn if I take too long defeating the other one. And now I have a secondary small key. And these 2... Okay, that's always nice. Getting an extra fairy, and which I don't need because I have 2 fairies inside the pots to begin with. Okay, goodbye, my friend. If I can get out the door. Okay, a little too low. Still. Okay. Now, where are we at right now on Skulltulas? 27. We only need 3 more, and then we can get the next reward. In which the first one gave us the adult wallet, and then the second one I don't remember, but the third one is supposed to give us something good, hopefully. Okay. So we go through here. Now here comes the fun part, because this part, unfortunately for me, is always one of the worst areas to go through, because it's always a little disorienting as to where to go, and what to do necessarily. There are arrows painted on the floor. Ah yes, thank you for letting me know this. I could have seen that with my own eyes had you given me the chance. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pull this block all but, like, right here. Because I need to be able to squeeze on through. Because that block is actually supposed to go where I need it to go. I just need to push it 2 more times. And now I'm going to go up here and get ready to have a little bit of fun this way. Because this way actually leads to another block on the higher level. Because each one will actually give me a platform to sit on, so that way I can be able to get from point A to point B. And this one, we just keep going until you hear that solid thud on the other side of the wall. And for here, we just jump back down to the first area and just start pushing this block over here. Now, you might be thinking, but Star, how are we supposed to be able to push the block into that platform or that space that you've been talking about? There's no way to be able to get to it from here. Surprisingly enough, that route that I took to get over to here, I just take it in reverse. And I can be able to push the block back. And now, from up top, once we get up to the next level, we'll actually be able to push that other block into place. And because physics are weird within the Zelda universe, nothing falls over unless it's all basically off the, I want to say cliff edge, or just the ledge itself, into a space where it fits perfectly. It's like trying to put something in a square hole and it just angles itself a little weirdly, and so you have to make sure it fits perfectly in order to get into there. Now this area we're just going to climb up and then we're just going to go right past everything, because defeating what these enemies are. These enemies are called bubbles. I don't know why, they're covered in flames. This corridor is all twisted. Navi, you're getting annoying already. We have been recording for not even 6.5 minutes. Watch for the shadows of monsters that hang from the ceiling. That's a useful tip, whereas the other one wasn't so much. And I'm missing a key, so there's nothing I can do here. Okay, so I need to go back to the very beginning. In which that won't be an issue. I just simply need to take my time and go back. Now we're gonna go ahead and just skip back to where the lobby is, because that's where I need to go. So I'll be right back. Okay, now that we're back here, and we got stuck by having no keys, we're gonna actually go this way. Now, if I remember to play the proper song this time around, we won't have to worry about listening to a song that I didn't need. Okay, I hate the giant Deku Babas. In which, now they gave me a free stick. And I have to go all the way over here. Okay. Oh, yeah, I forgot I have to remember to keep pulling forward whenever I'm flying towards vines or any climbable surface. Okay, so now the only enemy in this room that's going to be blocking me off is actually going to be this bubble. And thus, we now get our chest for this area. I do believe it gives us the map. I'm not 100% sure, because I always end up forgetting the order of which items come through. Because sometimes you can get a compass first, then you can get a map. Depends on which way you go. Okay, so we got the dungeon map. Sweet. I don't need to do it. Yeah, there are actually hook spots where I can be able to hit this. This switch looks a little different, and I don't know exactly what the reason for the color of that switch was, but it's just a normal switch. Okay, so now we're in a different area. There's a Skulltula there, there's a Deku Baba down here. Okay. Well, I need to jump down. Okay, that defeats that. So, to get to this chest, I have to hook shot up to here, and then just open it. Because I don't know if it's a key, or just a recovery card. Okay, we have another Skulltula token, which is nice. Link, are you okay? I'll never understand why there's like a weird clipping thing to where if you try to reach the ledge, it'll start freaking out. Okay, so we're gonna go all the way down here at the bottom of this like trench area, and it'll give us an item that we need, which is a small key, which is always nice because we could always use another one for wherever we go. But now I can traverse between both sides of the playing field with just the use of this tunnel here. Now, unfortunately, I can't do anything else over here because this area kind of blocks me out. So I'm just going to start going back the way I came from. And so now, because I do believe that there's nothing else I can do here, because that way leads out to the other courtyard, but it gives me nothing at this point that I can't use. So now I'm just gotta go all the way back up. Back to where Navi gave me that hint. So from here, we're going to simply climb back up, and it's annoying having to hear all these bubbles, and I do apologize, but there is nothing I can do other than recommend maybe tuning them out, because that's what I do half the time, though I still get a small headache just from listening to them just, like, speed around, just jabbing off a little bit. And now, when we go through here, we can be able to actually continue onward with our quest. I think not there, friend. Now, there was the gold eyeball switch, whereas this one was silver, and I think the gold ones are just on a timer. Oh? There's a treasure chest here. Now, it's of a different design. The difference is between adulthood and childhood. Oh. You're gonna be so mean and laugh at me? How dare you? Okay, so she won't let us reach her when she's in a painting, so we just go through here. That Stalfos was just floating there. And now you're defeated. Unless the floor comes out, I don't have to worry about being off to the side. Okay, because they die in 5 hits. Oh, ow. I need to be, like, extra careful, even though I do have areas that I can use. Yeah, this is... that look right here is actually what I was waiting for. Because those pieces that fall on the ground and just sit there, that lets you know that they come back. I was gonna say, there's gonna be some parts around here, right? Because thankfully, with the help of fairies, I don't officially die. I just die and come back. Also, something I noticed in the randomizer, if you've never noticed this before, the Nintendo 64 version, we got the ferry boat. The ferry boat chest is actually floating a bit. There's nothing that's keeping it from just sitting on the ground. Press C to take it out and hold it. And as you hold down, you can aim with the arrow, with the analog. Release C to let it fly with the arrow. But yeah, if you look, it's actually just floating there. The best way you can tell is by looking at the door. You see how around the farthest edge of this door, it's just below that line. Watch this, because we're going in the opposite way from where we need to go. Now look. It's no longer just below that line, it's now just perfectly positioned. Because for whatever reason on the Nintendo 64 version, it just clips wrong. Okay. So, we're at 28 Skulltulas, and now that we have arrows, we're actually going to go ahead and just start taking care of our issues here. In which we have to shoot these out. I don't know why it had to be specifically the bow, but it had to be the bow. Now, the game recommends that you take out the pose sisters with the arrows, but I take them out like I would any other character, so with the sword. This is Joelle, one of the pose sisters. Aim for her when she appears. Okay. And thus, I like waiting for jump attacks because it deals a bit more damage rather than just regular, like, swings of the sword and hits with an arrow. Now, we're gonna get her out of this corner here. Bring her over towards the stairwell. In which, this time, then I will defeat her with a normal slash. She'll drop arrows, in which each arrow icon itself is, I do believe, 1 arrow, or not 1 arrow, 10 arrows. Whereas a bundle like that, I think, is, it could be anywhere between 5 and 10, or 10, like 5 and 10 for single, up to 15 to 30 for 3 arrows bundle. I want to say it's 30. It just refills the entire thing, but I could be wrong. But now we have to do it again with the other pose sisters. Okay, so... Oh, wrong item. Go ahead and shoot her. Shoot her again, and then for a 3rd time. Another pose sister. Beth, one of the pose sisters. Okay, come on. Fight me, will you? That was a little early, but I'm glad I managed to make contact with that one. Okay, now we just got one more time that we have to hit her. I'll hit him with an arrow from a distance. And now we get another big boy chest, which is going to be the compass, I do believe. And I'm wasting 2 arrows only to see how many it gives. Gives 5. Okay. So 5, 10, then 15. Okay. I couldn't be 100% sure because I couldn't remember. So now we're going to go up here with the compass to help us figure out exactly where we are. Also, I just realized that I had the map turned off the entire time and I didn't know how. I think I had it turned off at some point in one of the previous episodes, but I never remembered. Okay, so now we're through here. Once again, you're going to give us this Shadow of Monsters hanging from the ceiling thing. And there's a hole that's like right over there that does nothing for me. And there are green bubbles here. And nothing I can do for you guys, so I'm just going to take you up. Okay, so there's nothing I can do here, so we're just gonna go back. And we're gonna go the other way, because then I'm gonna hit that eye that we saw, that silver switch eye. And we're gonna go and see exactly what happens to it. So give me a sec, I'll be right back. Okay, so now that we're back here, we're gonna go through the corkscrew door. Corkscrew the door. Corkscrew door. Come on. Okay, so now that we're through here, we're going to avoid the bubbles, and we're just going to hit this. In which now, the room may look like it hasn't changed, but it actually has. It's made a significant change. Now it's all straightened out. Yeah. And now, the chest is actually sitting on the floor. Now we have to be careful not to hit the floor. And now, this item in particular is different from childhood because it is the boss key. And now we can get to where the boss lies in this dungeon. Okay. This. Okay, I hate trying to deal with the bubbles. They're always so bouncy and just tend to get away from me all the time. And so, now, we're here at this point. Yep, this Skulltula, because that'll be number 29. And now we have one more to find. You are annoying me. As does the big dick above it. And so, now, there's nothing over here, I do believe. Because, yeah, that's the same sound. Okay. We're gonna go in through here real quick. In which there is a... This one's called a Floor Master. When it splits up, destroy all the pieces before they reunite. And this is one of the worst ones, only because it just will become immune whenever they start floating on and turn green and come after you. And essentially what happens is that if all three come back together, they turn back to normal. But if there's only like one or two left, they'll actually come after you and steal all of your, they'll steal some of your life energy, I do believe, to reform into a normal Floor Master, which you have to do the process all over again. So now we'll go through here, which will lead back to the door.
I went the wrong way and wasted about 7 minutes of footage.
So now we're getting ready to go up here, and just figure out what we have to do next. And so, through here, we can just simply dodge these guys to get to the next area. Okay, so there's a rotating platform that's all, like, decrepit. And there's a silver switch arrow, which is a lot harder to hit this time around. What we need to do is, because it's covered in ice, get an arrow, light it on fire with the brazier here, and just angle it up to this, and do this. Hit it with the arrow, so that way it opens up the ice, and then you hit it again, so that way the switch actually triggers. It's like a 2-for-1 framing thing. Thank you. Because now that hole that was in the ceiling or wall is now in the floor to where we need to go. And here's the fun part. Okay, that's the falling ceiling area. This door led to where? Oh! I did need to go up here. But I had no way to get up here. Not necessarily. If you notice that Navi was there, there's not a time block that's there. It's actually supposed to be the Scarecrow. I hate trying to remember this. Starboy, watch out! The ceiling is falling down. There's actually a Scarecrow that I can talk to get a song that I can personally make for him, and then he'll come anywhere that he remembers this, or hears the song, so that way we can be able to hookshot to him to get more checks. Okay, so what's in here? Probably another refill? Yeah. A bundle of arrows. I hate trying to go through here whenever I played this the first time, because I can never remember where exactly everything was. Okay. Oh, here's one of the sisters. And what's this on the ceiling? Blocks that look like her. So we hit this to spawn everything here. Okay. So pull this block out. And I have to put all the pieces in place in order for it to count. Okay. A little too far. But I can fix that. Now I have to perfectly line it up before the time rounds out, because if not, then I will have to wait for the blocks to flip and then do it all over again, which might take even more time. But we got it on the first try, so we don't have to worry about that. And thus, now we have Poe's sister Amy. Okay. Come on, Amy. Fight me again. And now you're gonna put yourself in the corner again. Okay, wait for her to basically respawn, and then we're gonna take it out with an arrow. And it's funny that basically the image, it travels with, the Poe sister. I'm not worried about needing the arrows, because I have 28 still. Well, I guess it gave me arrows anyway. So now through here, it'll basically be quick and easy to get to where we need to go. And thus, from up here, we notice that one of the Poe sisters is here. She's actually mourning the death of her 3 sisters that have been taken out. And so she plans on taking us out as well. This one's an interesting bit, because this is where everything splits. Now, if you notice this one is rotating, or not rotating, spinning, it's because that's how you figure out which one is who. And so, what is her name? Meg. If she splits into multiple images, you need to figure out which one is the real one. Is it this one? Yes. Because it took me so long to try to figure out exactly which one was which when I first started playing this game, so it was relatively easy to do. If you spawn in front of me again, have you not learned anything? Because I can't hit her with the sword because she basically moves as far away as I do. Okay, so one more time. You spawn in front of me again. Read your sisters in the afterlife, Meg. And so now we finally reached the bottom floor. And the whole area lights up. Now, if you notice a funny little thing about this is basically the setup for Sword Adventures. Because you got the 4 different color flames, the green, the red, the blue, and the purple. And then Meg splits into 4 copies of herself, which is thus 4 Sword Adventures. 4 links that split among themselves. Okay, so now for here, we have to take and push this in rotation. And we sit still until it's all done. Now, if you notice at the map, there's actually spots to where it'll actually open up on each corner of the room. And thus, I just keep spinning until I hit everything. Because there's supposed to be... I thought I pushed it enough times. There's enough items in here, and thus even creatures I can defeat to get some certain items. Okay. Now, 2 more rotations will put us back to where we were, which is perfectly fine, because that's what we need. Did you hear that sound as well? That's another golden stone Tula. I do believe that's the only one that's left in this entire dungeon. Okay. This guy. Come on. I was gonna say, give me this. Okay, so what do we get from this? Another stone arrows. Okay, so now we're going to push this back into its normal position. Because, unfortunately for us, we had to press 4 switches in order to be able to get into the boss room that's down here. Which is this final switch. Which now opens up. And don't worry, I know it's probably been already 30 minutes in the recording for me. And it's probably already been 30 minutes for you guys, but we're actually going to do this before I leave. That way we can go ahead and get this bit out of the way. Okay, so there's a giant room here of the same painting. And there's nothing else we can do here. Never mind. So now we are stuck in here. Of course. Hi, Ganon. I didn't realize I was going to fight you so soon. Never mind. Evil Spirit from Beyond, Phantom Ganon. Okay. Now, if I remember correctly, Phantom Ganon, sends out multiple copies of himself, and they're like, the lighted version is actually going to pop out of the painting, but I don't exactly remember. Okay, yeah, it's lighter. Plus, you can hear exactly what it is too. Because they do look darker in color. Yeah, you can see between the two right here. Plus, only the real one signs off. Phantom Ganon. It's an evil ghost of the Forest Temple. He comes out of one of the pictures. Answer his magic attack with an attack of your own. Magic attack. Ow! Well, that wasn't what I wanted. Okay. Well, I missed that one. Okay, I missed that one again. Come on now. Okay. So I'm relatively close to defeating him. With the tip of my blade, I will beat you. As I said, with the tip of my blade, I will defeat him. And thus, it was relatively easy to beat this boss. Hey kid, you did quite well. Looks like you may be getting some slight skill. But you have defeated only my phantom. If you fight the real me, it won't be so easy. What a worthless creation that ghost was. I will banish you to the gap between dimensions. And thus we have finally defeated Phantom Ganon, and now we also know Ganondorf is watching us. But now we have also gained another heart, so now we're up to 10. And now we get to go and get out of here now. But because this is a different warping animation, we actually travel to the Chamber of Sages before we leave. The Chamber of the Sages. And now we get to face the forest pedestal that's before us. And there's Saria. Thank you. Because of you, I could awaken as a sage. I am Saria, the sage of the Forest Temple. I always believed that you would come, because I know you. No. You don't have to explain it to me. Because it is destiny that you and I can't live in the same world. I will stay here as the Forest Sage and help you. Now, please take this medallion. And now we get to have the Forest Medallion, which, funny enough, each medallion was supposed to give us some form of magic, from what I learned through watching, like, cut content videos. This one was actually supposed to be what the Lower Wind is, be able to teleport me to and from, through certain dungeons. You receive the Forest Medallion. Saria awakens as a sage and adds her power to yours. Saria will always be your friend. Now, was she saying that in third person, or was it Navi that was telling me that? I'm not 100% sure. There's I spawned in front of the decorative tree, and there's something here. like screaming with my mouth closed. Hi there, I'm the Deku Tree Sprout. Because you and Serena broke the curse on the Forest Temple, I can grow and flourish. Thanks a lot. Hey, have you seen your old friends? None of them recognized you with your grown-up body, did they? I haven't even met them, so I wouldn't know. That's because the Kokiri never grow up. Even after 7 years, they're still kids. I noticed that with Mito. You must be wondering why only you have grown up. Well, as you might have already guessed, you are not a Kokiri. You are actually a Hylian. I am happy to finally reveal this secret to you. And thus, for like the 3rd or 4th time, we get to see this. Some time ago, before the King of Hyrule unified this country, there was a fierce war in our world. One day, to escape from the fires of the war, a Hylian mother and her baby boy entered this forbidden forest. The mother was gravely injured. Her only choice was to entrust the child to the Deku Tree, the guardian spirit of the forest. The Deku Tree could sense that this was a child of destiny whose fate would affect the entire world, so he took him into the forest. Oh, I said into's that slow. After the mother passed away, the baby was raised as a Kokiri, and now, finally, the day of destiny has come. And though for 10 years I was raised as a Kokiri, I'm actually a Hylian. You are a Hylian, and we're always bound to leave this forest. And now, you have learned your own destiny, so you know what you must do. That's right, you must save the land of Hyrule. Now, Starboy, break the curses on all the temples, and return peace to Hyrule. And so now that we know this, we can simply just go about and save the rest of the world. But that is all the time I have for this episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to the channel, as it does help the channel grow. If you would like to see me do some more like this, be afraid to let me know by liking the video, as it does, again, let me know if you like this or not. And comment down below which temple I should attempt to do next, because I know I need to necessarily do them in order, but it's always fun to try to mix things up. But as always, I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one, everybody.